Hello and welcome, dear human family, to another video here on this channel. And I go straight to the point. I have an announcement to make. And that announcement is that I'm opening up a new channel because I wish to revolutionize and transform my operation, my work, the great work that I'm doing. And I will still keep this channel going, which is running under my name. However, it's time for something new. And as you may have noticed, over the last weeks and months, especially in the last few weeks, I've been sharing with you what I've been going through, which is, and this is how I also called one of the videos, the dark side of the awakening. And it's been really tough. As I explained in the last video, the spiral nature of awakening, you get to a certain level and every battle, you always face the same battle. However, the deeper you go into your core essence, the deeper you decondition from the cultural norms of this Wetiko culture that's massively manipulated by psychic vampires, by energetic beings that use our creativity, our will, and our thoughts and intentions as a food source to keep those at a low vibration. And you know that is the case. This is the topic of all topics, how it's called by Carlos Castaneda, that humanity is not on top of the food chain here, and our behaviors are being driven by forces that work in the occult, a major topic that I'll delve into in my videos. And having stopped drinking alcohol, now the last, day 55 or something like that today, my perception is changing. I can only recommend to stop any habit. Okay, anyone. That's the biggest change you can make in the world, is stop a habit, and especially stop a habit of dependency like I had with drinking alcohol. I wasn't like an alcoholic or something, but I do like a good drink, I do like to party. And this crisis that I've been going through has made me stop drinking alcohol completely and spend time with myself only. The only people I really ever see are my family. And I don't have any other contact with anyone at the moment. So this is a crisis that I had to go through in order to see truly the bubble that I have still been living in, which is totally fine. It's quite beautiful, actually. And this shows you the living process that we're going through in this awakening. And that's why I'm opening up this new channel. Due to my lack of investigation, I will keep it on YouTube and start it on YouTube first, with the view also of using another platform where I'm going to upload. However, I'm going to tell you when that is the case. So my new channel's name is the Living Gnosis, in which I intend now for the next few weeks to not engage with media at all, except that which gets reflected to me. However, I want to completely disconnect myself from any source of media. That's my next step along my journey. I'll still be studying things, reading articles also, doing research, working with information. However, no news anymore. Why? Because as I like to keep pointing out in the videos, is the very problem is our conscious awareness being locked away with the key thrown away for us to find again that key. Our consciousness is locked in Plato's cave, where we observe the shadow projections on the wall, being distracted by those shadow projections on the wall, and because of us being distracted, we don't see how to actually get out of that cave. And I stand guilty as much as anyone being distracted by the COVIDian cult agenda that has been going on since the beginning of 2020. That's why I want to mix things up, because the Matrix is mainstream, and there's the mainstream agenda that's rolling out. They don't want to hear anything about the truth. Nothing. It's completely fabricated reality that is being portrayed by the mainstream media, that is based on a closed container with a certain fundament, where it's this mainstream container of this matrix is programmed with the parameters that keeps us spiritually asleep and a food source for a parasitic force that is represented by many entities that feed on our energy, on our creative energy, not used as human beings. That then this creative energy that we're endowed with is not used for evolutionary purposes toward the growth of our soul by creating with absolute joy, like little children, playfully, the new world. And this is what I want to engage in with my new channel. And I'm really happy about that. I'm also really happy about the dark times that I've gone through the last weeks, out of which I'm rising out like a rising phoenix or a rising eagle. I'm reconfiguring everything. I'm letting it go. Everything that doesn't serve me anymore. And coming back to what I was previously talking about, this closed container of a consensus reality of normal, and the new normal being portrayed by the COVIDian cult through the sources of the mainstream media, that is then recycled with correcting the talking points that were brought up by the mainstream media, which are then corrected with parameters of the truth by the alternative media. But that also keeps us stuck in the same loop that is the news matrix. There is no news on my channel the Living Gnosis any longer, as has been also on this channel, as you know. I don't delve too much into it because I used to do that. However, I don't want to do that too much anymore. What I want to say is that what I've realized, and I wish to share this in a upcoming episode, a new video that I do, what I've realized was a revelation today, is that this news matrix, as I explained with the mainstream media, and that being those informations being recycled with the frequency of truth by the alternative media, a closed system that keeps us trapped in the matrix. It keeps us trapped in a consensus, collective reality, where it's always only about the Covidian cult, about the secret societies in the background, and who controls who, and it all keeps us stuck. The V and the muzzles, and it all keeps us stuck, what I showed in the last video, in the 3D matrix, which is an important part. However, having the focus directed too much only on these issues, we lose sight of the grand picture. What's really going on, what's really important to share, what's really important. And that is the individual getting out of the collective consensus reality that is fabricated, and that is an illusion. Society does not exist. Have you ever had to do with the society? It's a concept that does not exist. And we only make it exist by consciously or unconsciously agreeing that it exists. It's an invitation, and we say yes to that. What I want to say is, it looks to me right now that the forces of limitation, this involutionary force, wants to corral people into a shared radio channel, to a shared collective radio channel, and a reality bubble that they control, with the use of the mainstream media, and also getting as many souls as possible, also the feedback loop of the alternative media, consciously and unconsciously also feeding the same 3D matrix program that keeps our conscious awareness, gets our awareness that makes us tune in to the reality that we experience. So consciously and unconsciously, the alternative media is also keeping us in this fabricated reality, in this consensus collectivist reality of the matrix. And this shows that the matrix is hyperdimensional, and we need to go even deeper to transcend and phase out of it. And that I want to get into in my new channel. I have a new chapter that I'm writing in my life, putting down the old chapter and looking back on it and saying, wow, that was a really beautiful learning experience. And I'll keep learning, especially now for the rest of October. No news for me. I'm changing a new habit. Actually, I quite enjoy changing these new habits. It's a blessing. It's truly a blessing going through crisis, because the crisis leads to opportunity. And the truth is simple, however not easy to implement. And it's when the shadows come up and we realize, oh, those shadows are trying to teach something to me. The ego always wants to tell us that we're fully in control. Oh yeah, you're already awake and you don't have to move further. Yes. Destroy yourself. Destroy yourself. And that's maybe a hard word to use, but it's breaking the crust. All the people that hurt you, as I got told by a wonderful lady from Croatia, ask yourself the question, who is doing the hurting? No, who gets hurt? It's our crust. It's our ego personality that is limited, that fears and that doesn't want to be hurt by anyone, wants to be liked. That's the trap, that's the prison, that's the matrix. So that's the greatest blessing. And it's all served as a learning lesson to me to really come back to humbleness and actually see the wondrous beauty of this luminescent reality again, anew. Ask anew, go back to the fundamentals, okay? I know nothing, go back to the fundamentals. Who am I? What am I doing here? Why is the world so fucked up as it is? And what is reality? What is this reality really? This is the one, the truth is simple. Take this with you when you watch this video, when you've invested the time watching this. The truth is simple. The occult hostile forces do not want you to question reality again and again and again and again, because you might one day get it right. So what I'm putting forward, this is what I'm going deep into. The first video on my new channel, and look in the description below, you'll find it and you'll be updated. Join the Telegram channel, also linked underneath below, where you always get my latest videos. I'll be delving into how the forces of limitation and the biggest weapon, the mainstream media, try and corral our awareness into a collective reality that does not exist at any present moment, where we withdraw our conscious awareness from the parameters that this collectivist matrix reality is programmed with. And I'm starting the investigation that quite possibly it could turn out to be not a new age. It could turn out to be not a new age hoax. It could be actually the truth that we truly create our own reality. We truly. And that's the way I understand it. Remember, the pyramid of sovereignty begins with one. We choose the radio frequency of our reality with our conscious attention. When we are truly sovereign, sovereignty means we have to be independent of everything existing outside of us, which is a dreamscape, dream-like reality, where everyone we are interacting with, the beings that we are interacting with, are reflecting back to us that which is going on inside of us. So it could be that the forces of limitation don't want us to be aware of that, because we can then create our own reality independent of what happens outside in the collective. Because when we individually get the lesson of the Covidian cult and put up, wear the corona, the crown, all the others don't have to get it, because all the others are also individual on their own journey, creating their own realities. And it's actually, the whole thing is multi-dimensional, playful, and there's nothing to fear at all. So this perception, this perspective could represent that we are already free in this moment right now, completely independent of a collectivist constructed reality that does not exist. And it doesn't mean that we don't need food, and of course in some way we also interact with that consensus collectivist reality by needing food and this and that. However, where is the prime question in all of this? Is where is our awareness tuned to? So much to look forward there. This is gonna be my last video for now on this channel. Subscribe to the next chapter along my investigation, coming with me. I'm starting completely anew. And beautiful things on the horizon. Have a lovely day, and remember, at any moment you make the choice, you can flick the switch where your conscious attention is tuned. You remember the last video I put on there, what the guy said, you still remember how important you are? Well, he made me remember, and I'll let you remember right now how important you are in your multi-dimensional game that you're creating, and further along we create collectively. Can't be touched. There is some information that they really don't want us to get hold of, and I think this individual reality creation through our imagination and upright with powerful energy, really motivated, the new chapter, the next chapter, who's in with me? Looking forward to see you. Take care.